injuries that you see?
Well, unfortunately, we see a lot of variety of ski injuries, and there are really three categories. The first are broken bones, which myself and my colleagues take care of, often soft tissue injuries such as torn ligaments, knee injuries, and then lastly, and perhaps most importantly, concussions. Despite helmets, people do sustain concussions. And all these three injuries are real disruptors of people's lifestyles that we'd like to, if possible, prevent or minimize while people have a great time.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of these ski resorts are getting ready to open. I mean, just in a matter of days, if not weeks for some of them. Do you ever notice any differences, doctor, between skiing injuries or snowboarding injuries?
Yes, snowboarders have their own set of injuries. Unfortunately, I've learned that through my daughters. And concussions, wrist fractures, elbow fractures are relatively more common in the snowboarders, upper extremity injuries, because of the way they often fall forwards or backwards. In skiers, we see more of the knee injuries, tibia fractures, that's fractures of the leg, ACL and knee torn ligament injuries, but also, unfortunately, concussions as well.
You know, we were just talking even before we started this interview that, you know, ski resorts are opening. People are going to be so excited to hit the slopes. Everybody's kind of been cooped up inside, especially during the pandemic. But of course, now that it's winter, everybody gets excited for this time of year. Do you anticipate seeing actually fewer injuries if fewer people are going up to the resorts with limited capacity? Or do you perhaps maybe see more coming because more people are going to be out there and anxious to just, I don't know, be reckless or at least just be out there, right?
Well, that's an interesting question, way to look at it. Of course, one would presume that less people by tens of thousands perhaps on the slopes because of the social distancing, we'd see less percentage of injuries. On the other hand, when the terrain is wide open and people feel, wow, this is great and free, sometimes they're more, I won't say careless, but they can get themselves in a situation to be injured. I think the main thing is there are some things people can do to protect themselves, and hopefully we can chat about that later in this interview.
Well, you just led me right into my next question, doctor. What is your advice to skiers and boarders and really anybody who is out recreating during the winter about avoiding these injuries?
Well, first of all, this is a great sport and we're in a great state and we can do all these wonderful things and you can do them your whole life and do them well and make them part of your happy lifestyle, but you got to have some sense, be sensible at times. Many of these injuries occur later in the day when people are tired and they've done many runs. They're on their 10th, 15th run down the mountain. Their legs are tired. This is when people have accidents and they're less sharp. And just like in any athlete, you have to monitor yourself. And I would really encourage people to slow down later in the day, make sure they're eating enough and their blood sugar isn't low. You'd be surprised when you talk to people how a lot of these injuries occur because of circumstances like that: fatigue, hunger, cold. So dress warmly, use sunscreen, take your time, try not to overdo it at the end of the day, and have a lot of fun every day. That's number one. Number two is come to the slopes prepared. Yeah. It's not that easy to ski downhill, even if you're a good skier on a tough day. You should be in the gym perhaps for a few months beforehand, strengthening your muscles, making sure your reactions are improved. We really like it when people do strength training, yoga, perhaps Pilates or something else they like. This is really great preparation for your ski season, and now's the time.
Absolutely. Well, I like the number one rule too, though, to have fun. That's always important. Just safe and fun, right? Well, Dr. Smith.
You can have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're all excited because they're going to be opening up here soon. Thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate your insight. We'll be right back.